Dre Baldwin, Ball Overseas, the overseas basketball blueprints. Question is, how can you see the overseas basketball job market? Now, my last piece of content, I think I made it pretty clear that I would not pay to just get access to all the quote unquote job openings out there in the world. I don't think it's a good investment. I don't think the return on investment I don't think the chances of you getting a return on investment are very high. And even if you do, I don't think the return on investment is even going to be worth the investment that you made to get it. Now, is there a chance that somebody 1 in 10,000 could pay for access and they will get an opportunity out of it and actually sign a deal out of it and get their career going, or maybe just get that chance to play overseas once? Sure. Is that possible? Absolutely. Has it happened? I'm pretty sure that it has happened. All right? I'm not saying it is impossible. I'm not saying it's never happened. I'm pretty sure it has happened. Okay? And there are people out here claiming that it has happened. Who knows? But here's why I would, when it comes to viewing the overseas basketball job market, I would just go off of whatever information I can get access to that I don't need to pay for when it comes to the job market. Just the job market. Now, when it comes to getting a job, period, are there investments that you're going to need to make as a player? Yes. And I talked about this when I talked about what would I do if I was trying to get on? Where you got the G League open tryouts, the local tryouts, you got the G League national tryouts, you got overseas exposure camps in the USA, overseas exposure camps in Europe, and then you have the academies nowadays. Which one would I do? Actually, I just gave you the list. That's in ascending order. That's what I would do. G League local tryouts, I would never do. I've done them before, but knowing what I know now, I would not do a G League local tryout ever. I would do G League national. I would do that. I would do an exposure camp that's based in the USA that's for overseas. I would do that. I would be very choosy about which one. I would definitely do an exposure camp that's based in Europe for playing in Europe. That's one of the best ones that I would do. I told you about that before. Again, see my videos on that. And you could also see this book, The Truth About Overseas Basketball Exposure Camps, where I talked about that. And then the academies. The academies weren't really popping off when I was playing, but if I was trying to get on right now, I would save up my bread. I would ask my parents. I'd do a GoFundMe. I'd do whatever I had to do. I'd go to an academy that's based in Europe, stay there for 3 months, get to work on my game, get seen every single day. They get to know me and all that. And that's what I would do to get on. That's the investment that I would make. That's the only investment you got to make. I mean, you work on your game, of course. You're practicing and your gym memberships and all that. Assuming you're doing that, the investment I would make to actually connect to the overseas world would be to go to an exposure camp in Europe, go to an academy in Europe. Those would be my 2 top choices. Those are the highest investment. That's the most money you got to put up. But I also believe they have the highest possibility for you getting a positive return on investment. That's why I would do that. When it comes to the job market, then, with all that being said, I don't really give a damn what the job market is. That's honestly my answer to the question. I don't care what the job market is. I don't care how many jobs are open in Spain right now, how many in Portugal, how many in Iceland, how many in Australia. It doesn't even matter to me because, as I just told you, if I'm going to an exposure camp overseas, guess who's coming to that exposure camp? Managers, agents, teams who need players. All right, they need players for somewhere in the world. I don't need to know what team they work for. I don't need to know how many job openings they're working with right now. All I need to know is, are these motherfuckers coming to the event? Yes. Are they looking for players? Yes. Am I a player? Yes. Can I play? Yes. Can I perform when they're watching? If that answer is yes, I'm good. They'll know what the job market is. I don't need to know what the job market is. I don't need to know what jobs are open and how many and this and that. Listen, somebody offered me a deal. I ain't never played anywhere before. I'm working at fucking McDonald's. I'm taking a deal. All right? It doesn't matter what else is going on. I don't need to know what the job market is. My agent's job is to know the job market. My manager's job is to know the job market. If a team wants to sign me to a deal, do I care how many job openings there are in Spain? If one team in Spain wants to sign me? No, because guess how many jobs I can get? One. I just need one job opening to be interested in me. So I'm not interested in knowing what the entire job market is. I'm not an agent. I'm not a manager. If I'm not a reporter on the overseas world, I don't consider myself to be one, even at this stage of where I'm at. I don't care about that. I don't care about the job market. Listen, I just need one job. You can't play for 2 teams at the same time. So viewing the overseas basketball job market is for you players out there. Those of you who are trying to get on, you the random stragglers like I talked about. Again, not in a derogatory way. I was a random straggler multiple times when I was playing. If you're trying to get on, your focus is, let me go to where people who are looking for players can see me. Because if someone who's looking for players shows up to a gym, actually you don't even need to know they're looking. If an agent, coach, manager, owner of a team shows up to a gym at an exposure event or an academy, why the hell else would they be there other than they're looking for a player? All right, this is what they do as a full-time job. They wouldn't be in the gym if they weren't looking for players. So since they're looking, that means there is probably a job out there that needs to be filled by somebody, and maybe that somebody will be you. And maybe they will be the person who hires the player who ends up taking that job. So you don't need to worry about the job market. All you need to focus on is, can I play? Is my game ready? Am I in game shape? Can I go somewhere where they can see me? That's all you need to do. And then when you get there, did I do my thing when they were watching? That's it. That's all you need to focus on. Don't worry about what the job market is unless you're trying to be a reporter about overseas basketball. You're trying to start a blog about overseas basketball, then I guess maybe you could care about the job market. But if you're trying to hoop, you don't need to know the job market. The job market for you is one job. All right, your job market is one job anywhere in the world, as long as somebody signed you, so you can get out of working at wherever you're working right now in the USA, your regular job bagging groceries. You're trying to get out of that. Your job market is one job. All right, you don't need to know about all the jobs, just one. All that being said, balloverseas.com. Get your free copy of this book, The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. We used to sell this book for $49 on Amazon because it is worth it. I made it free at balloverseas.com. Now, on Amazon, you can still pay for it. People still buy this book on Amazon every month. I don't know why. Maybe they just didn't know. So I guess it's my fault they didn't know they could get it for free. If you just go to balloverseas.com, all you do is cover a small shipping charge. The book's 237 pages. Ain't no pictures in this book. There's 237 pages of game of what you need to do to play overseas. Again, balloverseas.com. While you are there, if you want to get the other 3 books in the bundle, the Overseas Blueprint Bundle, Overseas Basketball Secrets, about the business side of the game. The Truth About Exposure Camps is self-explanatory. Overseas or Basketball Agents Decoded is also self-explanatory. If you want to get those other 3, you can. You have the option to get that. If you just want to get the one and just pay for the shipping and just get this free, you can get that too. Whatever you need. I'm just trying to give y'all what y'all need to get to play basketball overseas. I told you I'm coming from a genuine place. I walked on at a D3, didn't have any prospects, worked regular jobs for a year when I got out of college, just trying to get on, got myself on, figured out the game, and I just have the skill of being able to explain what I know and explain why it makes sense in a reasonable, logical way to people like y'all. That's why I do what I do for a living. What I do for a living is not really about overseas ball, but since I played overseas and I know a lot of y'all are trying to get on and there's not a lot of useful information out there, I do my part by making this content and just making this book free and just trying to help y'all out. But this is not my full-time business. Whether or not you get on overseas has no bearing on my life. I'm not trying to get rich off giving you a book for free, which makes no sense anyway. So I just want to make sure I say that every now and then so y'all understand I'm not a overseas basketball salesperson. I'm just trying to give y'all the game. So balloverseas.com, get your free copy of the book, work on your game. We out of here. Dre all day.